Scientists opened the mammoth's uterus and found a complete fetus inside. The mother elephant was drinking water when she died, with grass still in her mouth. Death took only seconds. She may have fallen into an ice crevice and been frozen before her body temperature could dissipate. This is nature's most perfect cryogenic technology, 10,000 times better than human methods. But the strangest thing is that its blood remains liquid at -40 degrees Celsius. Its eyeballs are not shriveled, and its muscle tissue is elastic, as if it had just died a few hours ago, not 40,000 years ago. Scientists have extracted the complete genome and are using CRISPR to edit the elephant, adding the characteristics of the adorable mammoth: long fur, thick fat, and cold-resistant genes. They are coming back, but the question is the world ready to welcome them? The story begins 5 million years ago, when a herd of large elephants decided to leave their homeland. They traveled north, the colder the environment, for millions of years, finally becoming the kings of Eurasia during the Ice Age. At their peak, these magnificent elephants stood over 3 meters tall and weighed 6 to 8 tons, virtually invincible on the ice fields at -40 degrees Celsius. Their ears were small and close to their scalps to minimize heat loss. Their subcutaneous fat was up to 10 centimeters thick, warmer than any down jacket. Even more amazing was the special antifreeze protein in their blood. White elephants could transport oxygen normally even at extremely low temperatures, something modern elephants cannot do at all. Their tusks could reach up to 4 meters in length. They could not only dig through snow to find food, but also clear paths and fight. But what truly allowed them to survive was not these abilities, but intelligence. Like today's elephants, they lived in family units, led by the eldest female elephant. These elders remembered where the water sources were, where the food was, and how to follow the migration routes. For hundreds of thousands of years, mammoths ruled the entire. Their presence was ubiquitous throughout the northern hemisphere, from Spain to North America. But 12,000 years ago, the Moses Ice Age ended, and temperatures began to rise. For mammoths, this was a catastrophe. The original ice fields and grasslands were replaced by forests and swamps. Their favorite herbaceous plants rapidly declined. Within just a few thousand years, their suitable habitat shrank by 90%. Even more devastating was the appearance of humans at this time. Humans invented fur, traps, and hunting techniques. Archaeologists have found human cutting marks on countless mammoth bones. Some have even used their bones to build houses. But the most fatal blow wasn't hunting, but the severing of the mammoth's lineage. Mammoths were highly dependent on leaders. Once the older female mammoths are killed, the entire herd loses its direction, unable to find water or migration routes, and can only wait to die. After the mammoths on the mainland gradually disappeared, a small group was trapped on Wrangel Island in the Arctic Ocean. They lived there for thousands of years, becoming the last refuge for mammoths. But isolation also brought new problems. Unable to mate with other populations, their genes began to break down. Scientists have discovered that the late-stage mammoths on the island, elephants have accumulated a large number of harmful mutations, resulting in decreased fertility and impaired sense of smell. The sense of smell is crucial for finding food and sensing danger. As the climate continues to warm, the freshwater foxes on the island are being eroded by seawater, and they are either dying of thirst or starvation. 4,000 years ago, the last mammoth statue fell. By then, humans were already building pyramids, and China had entered the Xia dynasty. The era of the mammoth statues was completely over. But the story didn't end there. These mammoth statues, dead for tens of thousands of years, are influencing the world today in another way. At least 1.5 million mammoth statues, along with countless other prehistoric animals, are buried in the permanent crypts of Siberia. Their carcasses have locked in enormous amounts of carbon, which is now being used to combat global warming. As the permafrost begins to melt, it releases more greenhouse gases, methane and carbon dioxide, with each bit of melting. The hotter the climate, the faster the melting and the more gases released. This is a vicious cycle. Once started, it cannot be stopped. This critical point is what scientists are most worried about. But even more frightening than greenhouse gases is something else. In 2023, Russian scientists revived a virus from permafrost. This virus, dormant for 30,000 years, was able to regain its infectious capacity after thawing. It only took 5 minutes. Humans had never come into contact with it. There were no antibodies and no drugs. And this virus is not an isolated case. There may be thousands of unknown microorganisms sealed in the permafrost. In the summer of 2016, when Siberian temperatures reached 35 degrees Celsius, the carcass of a reindeer buried for 75 years was exposed to the air. The carcass inside the reindeer was still alive. Within a month, more than 2,300 reindeer died, and the disease even affected a 12-year-old child. This is just one corpse. Scientists have discovered over 7,000 similar reindeer burial sites in northern Russia. More than 1 million reindeer died of anthrax in the last century, many only shallowly buried under permafrost. Now, with climate warming, these places are thawing one by one, turning into biological time bombs that could explode at any time. A United Nations report shows that every year from the melting permafrost, the number of microorganisms released is as high as 400 trillion, an unimaginably large number. Even more challenging is that many of these bacteria are inherently drug-resistant. Canadian scientists isolated a bacterium from 4 million-year-old fossils that is completely immune to all antibiotics. Once these ancient bacteria enter human society, our antibiotic system may become instantly ineffective. Scientists predict that by 2030, the Arctic may witness its first antibiotic-free. A freezing summer means that more lives sealed away for tens of thousands of years will awaken unexpectedly. They are not monsters, nor are they inherently good or evil, but for humanity today, they are an unpredictable test. Meanwhile, in Harvard University laboratories, scientists are trying to recreate the ramshackle. They have successfully edited dozens of elephant genome loci to incorporate the ramshackle's cold resistance characteristics. If all goes well, the first ramshackle could be created within the next 10 years. The mastiff might be resurrected, but this raises a question. Why do we want to revive them? Is it for scientific research or to atone for our guilt? 40,000 years ago, humans may have been involved in their extinction. Now we have the ability to bring them back, but the world is no longer the same. There are no ice fields, no grasslands, no space for their survival. Reviving a species but having nowhere to house them. Is this salvation or another form of cruelty? Even more ironic. The irony is that while we are trying to revive the mammoths, we are also accelerating permafrost thawing. Every time you turn on the air conditioning, every time you drive, you're releasing greenhouse gases, awakening more ancient threats buried beneath the ice. The mammoths have been dead for 40,000 years, and now their corpses are rewriting the future of the Earth. This is the cruelest truth of evolution. No species can reign forever. Even if you ruled for hundreds of thousands of years, even if you perfectly adapted to the environment, as long as the world changes, you must change with it. If you can't change, you can only disappear. And humanity is using 100 years to create a climate change equivalent to 10,000 years. We thought we were at the top of the food chain and could change everything, but the story of the mammoth tells us that when the environment changes drastically, no one is safe. Those frozen giants, those dormant viruses, the melting permafrost won't retaliate against humanity because it doesn't care about us at all. It's just waiting for a chance to reappear, and that chance is one we ourselves have given it. Okay, the movie end here. Everyone is welcome to subscribe. Turn on the notification for more movie like this. Thanks for watching.